95% of diets fail, not because people lack discipline, but because they're fighting biology. You've been told it's all about calories in, calories out, but that's a lie that's kept millions trapped in a metabolic prison. The truth is, your body was designed to burn fat effortlessly. It's encoded in your DNA. But modern eating habits, constant snacking, sugar spikes, processed foods have shut down this ancient fat-burning switch. Right now, most people are living in a state of metabolic confusion. Their bodies no longer know how to access stored fat for fuel. Instead, they're trapped in sugar, burning mode, hungry every few hours, low on energy, and frustrated by stubborn belly fat that just won't go away. But here's the good news. Your metabolism isn't broken. It's waiting to be reactivated. There's a forgotten method buried beneath decades of diet industry noise. A metabolic reset that flips your internal switch back to what nature intended. When you trigger this reset, your body stops storing fat and starts using it 24 hours a day, even while you sleep. This isn't a starvation plan or another short-term fix. It's the high-one science-backed method proven to melt visceral fat fast, and more importantly, to keep it off. You're about to discover how to restore the natural rhythm of your metabolism, to teach your body to burn fat like it was meant to. In the next few moments, we'll break down the 3 powerful phases of this transformation activation, where you awaken your fat-burning genes, adaptation, where your metabolism learns to thrive on stored energy, and acceleration, where you achieve permanent metabolic freedom. The first 7 days of the metabolic reset are like waking up a sleeping giant inside your body. For years, that giant, your metabolism, has been trapped under the weight of constant eating, sugar spikes, and hormonal chaos. But the moment you begin this process, everything starts to change. Think of it as flipping on the circuit breakers in a control room that's been dim for too long. Suddenly, the lights begin to flicker back to life. In these first few days, your body begins to regulate insulin, the hormone that acts as the gatekeeper to your fat stores. When insulin is high, your body can't burn fat. It's locked away. And most people today are living with chronically elevated insulin because they eat too frequently, constantly feeding on glucose. But as you initiate the reset, by giving your body space between meals and focusing on real, nutrient-dense foods, insulin levels start to drop for the first time in years. That drop is the spark that begins the metabolic reawakening. As insulin lowers, your body turns to its stored glycogen, the sugar reserves tucked away in your liver and muscles. Glycogen is like your short-term battery. Once you start depleting it, your body faces a crossroads. It can demand more sugar, or it can learn to tap into the vast energy source it's been ignoring, your fat stores. This is the pivotal shift from sugar burning to fat burning. During this phase, many people describe the first 48 hours as a recalibration period. You might feel a little off, maybe hungrier than usual, maybe craving carbs, and that's completely normal. What's happening is your ghrelin and leptin hormones, the hunger and satiety regulators, are resetting their communication lines. For years, they've been sending mixed signals because of processed foods and constant snacking. Now, as insulin stabilizes and blood sugar fluctuations smooth out, these hormones start talking clearly again. Your body begins to trust that it doesn't need to demand food every few hours. It can finally rely on its internal energy supply. By day 3 or 4, something powerful begins to happen. The fog lifts. The endless hunger starts to fade. Your energy becomes more stable throughout the day. That mid-afternoon crash, gone. What's happening is your body is learning to produce ketones. Clean, stable energy molecules created when you burn fat for fuel. Your brain loves ketones. That's why focus sharpens and mental clarity rises. It's like your mind finally switches from a flickering fluorescent bulb to a bright, steady LED. Physically, changes become visible too. The belly bloating that once felt constant begins to reduce as inflammation drops. When insulin levels lower, your body stops holding onto excess water and sodium. Clothes might start fitting a little looser, not necessarily because you've lost a ton of weight yet, but because your body is releasing what it no longer needs. It's exhaling years of metabolic stress. Behind the scenes, your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in your cells, are coming back online. These powerhouses thrive on fat for fuel. For too long, they've been sluggish, forced to burn glucose that burns out quickly. But now they're being reactivated. As your glycogen stores empty and your body begins to oxidize fat, mitochondrial efficiency improves. You feel this as steadier energy, better sleep, and an overall sense of vitality that feels natural. You'll also notice your mood stabilizing. That's no coincidence. When blood sugar levels swing wildly, so do emotions. But as your glucose curve flattens, so does your emotional volatility. You're calmer, clearer, and more in control, not because of willpower, but because your biochemistry is finally aligned with your biology. And this is only the beginning. The activation phase isn't about restriction. It's about restoration. You're not depriving your body. You're teaching it to remember what it's capable of. Each day in this first week, your system is relearning how to access and trust its built-in fat-burning design. By the end of these first 7 days, your metabolism has already begun to rewire itself. The circuits are reconnecting. The switch that was once stuck on, store fat, has started to flip toward burn fat. You're no longer ruled by cravings or mood swings. You're no longer chasing calories or quick fixes. Your body has taken its first confident step toward balance. And once it finds that rhythm, it doesn't forget. By week 2, the fire within your metabolism begins to roar. What started as flickers of energy in the first 7 days now evolves into a steady, controlled burn. Your body is officially learning how to thrive on fat. This is the adaptation phase, where your metabolism graduates from beginner to expert mode. You've reactivated your fat-burning switch. Now, your system begins fine-tuning it for efficiency. Think of your body as a hybrid engine. In the past, you've been running only on gasoline, glucose, which burns fast, runs out quickly, and leaves you stranded when levels dip. But as your metabolism adapts, your cells begin mastering the art of switching seamlessly between glucose and fat, like a hybrid engine that can alternate between fuel types without missing a beat. This is called metabolic flexibility, and it's the hallmark of a healthy, efficient metabolism. Inside your cells, your mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses, are multiplying. This process, known as mitochondrial biogenesis, means your cells are literally creating more engines to burn fat. The result, you feel a new level of steady energy. No more roller coasters of highs and crashes. Instead, your body runs clean and consistent, burning stored fat for fuel while keeping blood sugar stable. This stability extends to your hormones too. During this phase, cortisol, your stress hormone, begins to find its natural rhythm again. In the sugar-burning days, cortisol would spike erratically to pull glucose from your bloodstream whenever energy dipped. That constant stress response made fat loss harder, especially around your midsection. But now that your body can efficiently use fat, cortisol levels smooth out. Your nervous system relaxes, your sleep deepens, and your metabolism becomes calmer yet more powerful. And something remarkable starts happening around your belly, the most stubborn area for many people. As insulin remains low and steady, your body begins to target visceral fat, the deep fat that wraps around your organs. This fat is metabolically active, meaning it responds quickly once insulin drops because your body prioritizes clearing it out first. It's the kind of fat that drives inflammation and disrupts hormones. So as it melts away, everything from your digestion to your mood starts to improve. Many people describe this as feeling lighter, not just physically but mentally, as if a fog has lifted both inside and out. Visceral fat loss is a major milestone because it marks the beginning of true metabolic healing. You're no longer just losing weight, you're restoring communication between your organs and hormones. Leptin, the hormone that tells your brain when you're full, starts to signal properly again. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, quiets down. Your appetite naturally regulates, not through willpower, but through biological intelligence. You find yourself eating less because your body finally knows how to access its own fuel. Meanwhile, something subtle but deeply important begins to occur on a cellular level, a process known as autophagy, light. It's your body's built-in housekeeping system. When you're not constantly digesting food, your cells take the opportunity to clean house, removing damaged proteins, recycling cellular debris, and upgrading old components. Think of it as giving your cells a spa day. This gentle cleanup lowers inflammation, balances hormones, and improves your body's response to insulin even further. You're not just burning fat, you're renewing yourself from the inside out. As your metabolism adapts, your energy becomes more predictable. You wake up feeling clear-headed, your workouts feel stronger, and your recovery improves. Your body is no longer desperate for constant fuel because it has learned to tap into an endless supply, your stored fat. Every meal now becomes an opportunity for efficiency, not dependency. You're running on clean energy, free from the sugar spikes and slumps that once dictated your day. Even your digestion starts to harmonize. Without constant insulin surges and inflammatory foods, the gut microbiome begins to rebalance. The bloating from week 1 continues to fade. Skin looks clearer. Focus deepens. This is what happens when inflammation lowers and your metabolic pathways run smoothly. Your body operates the way it was designed to. The 2nd to 4th week is when most people begin to feel the shift profoundly. The mirror starts showing changes. Tighter waistline, improved posture, glowing skin. But more importantly, there's a sense of control and calmness that wasn't there before. Your metabolism has become intelligent again. It knows how to fuel you without begging for snacks, sugar, or caffeine. This is where metabolic freedom begins to take root. You're no longer reacting to hunger or energy crashes. You're responding to your body's natural rhythm. The switch from fat storage to fat utilization is complete, and your physiology is now working with you instead of against you. This is the stage where most diets stop working, but your body is just getting started. By the time you reach day 30 of the metabolic reset, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your body isn't just burning fat, it's mastering it. The switch that was once jammed on, store mode, has flipped fully into burn mode, and the results are visible, measurable, and deeply felt. The fatigue, cravings, and frustration that once defined your day have been replaced by clarity, confidence, and energy that feels limitless. This is the acceleration phase, the point where your metabolism shifts from recovery to optimization. At this stage, fasting becomes effortless. What used to feel like a struggle, skipping meals or delaying breakfast, now feels natural. That's because your body has adapted to running on fat, producing a steady stream of ketones that fuel your brain and muscles efficiently. Hunger hormones like ghrelin have calmed, while leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, is finally doing its job. You're not forcing willpower anymore. Your biology is cooperating. You eat when you're genuinely hungry and stop when you're satisfied. Meanwhile, your human growth hormone, HGH, levels are climbing. HGH is your body's natural repair and regeneration hormone. It preserves lean muscle, enhances fat metabolism, and accelerates recovery, all critical for long-term fat loss and vitality. When insulin drops and fasting windows lengthen, HGH production can increase by up to 5 times its normal rate. That's why many people notice their skin looking firmer, their muscles more defined, and their energy lasting all day. It's not magic. It's chemistry working exactly as designed. Your thyroid, often misunderstood as just a weight control gland, also begins to thrive again. In the past, when you were trapped in sugar dependence and calorie restriction, your thyroid slowed down to conserve energy, a survival response. But now, with steady nutrient intake and improved hormone sensitivity, thyroid conversion improves. The inactive T4 hormone more efficiently converts to the active T3 form, igniting metabolic rate and supporting sustained fat loss. Your internal thermostat is back online, keeping your energy output high and consistent. Insulin sensitivity, one of the most important markers of health, reaches a powerful new level during this phase. Every cell in your body becomes better at responding to insulin, meaning glucose is used efficiently rather than stored as fat. This is why fat loss during this period feels effortless. You're no longer storing energy, you're utilizing it. Fat loss isn't random, it's the result of clean, precise cellular communication. When insulin, leptin, and cortisol all operate in harmony, your metabolism doesn't guess anymore. It knows exactly what to do. You'll start noticing profound real-world changes too. The mental clarity that began in week 1 now feels permanent. That steady flow of ketones to your brain means focus and creativity are sharper than ever. You'll find yourself performing better at work, handling stress with composure, and thinking more clearly under pressure. Many people describe this as feeling lighter, not just in their bodies, but in their minds. The mental clutter that once came from sugar highs and crashes is gone, replaced by calm alertness. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. That's because the hormonal orchestra that regulates metabolism also governs your circadian rhythm. As cortisol stabilizes and melatonin rises naturally in the evening, your sleep quality improves dramatically. This deeper rest amplifies recovery and fat burning even more, because most fat oxidation happens while you sleep. You're not just resting, you're rebuilding. Your body composition starts to visibly change. Clothes fit differently. Muscles look more defined even without intense exercise. This is a reflection of metabolic optimization. Your body is burning fat while preserving muscle, the hallmark of a healthy, youthful metabolism. You're becoming metabolically younger, with energy levels that rival those you had years ago. And perhaps the most rewarding change of all, emotional stability. When your blood sugar, insulin, and cortisol levels are balanced, your mood follows. The irritability, anxiety, and afternoon crashes disappear. You feel grounded, capable, and in control. Your mind and body are finally on the same team. This 60-day milestone isn't just a phase of fat loss. It's a full biological upgrade. Every system in your body, from your hormones to your mitochondria, is communicating efficiently like a finely tuned orchestra. The energy that once went into constant digestion, craving, and stress is now being channeled into healing, growth, and performance. You've reached the point where effort meets ease. Your metabolism has become your ally, a self-sustaining engine designed for vitality and longevity. You're not chasing calories or quick fixes anymore, because your body is doing exactly what it was created to do. Your body is no longer fighting against you. It's working for you. For decades, we've been told the secret to weight loss is simple. Eat less, move more. Cut calories, burn more than you consume, and the pounds will melt away. But if that really worked, why do 95% of diets fail? The truth is, calorie restriction may look good on paper, but biologically, it's a metabolic disaster waiting to happen. When you chronically cut calories, your body doesn't interpret that as discipline. It interprets it as danger. It slows down your metabolism, raises cortisol, and clings to every ounce of fat for survival. Think of it like this: if you lived in a house and wanted to save on electricity, you might turn down the thermostat and shut off the lights to conserve energy. That's exactly what your body does when it senses restriction. It turns down the metabolic furnace to preserve fuel. Your thyroid function drops, your energy tanks, and you start burning fewer calories, even while eating less. This is why so many people hit plateaus or even gain weight after weeks of dieting. The body isn't malfunctioning, it's protecting itself. Chronic dieting also wreaks havoc on hormones. Elevated cortisol from calorie restriction triggers your body to store fat, particularly around the belly, as a survival mechanism. Meanwhile, low thyroid output slows fat metabolism and increases fatigue. Your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, become confused. Ghrelin screams louder, making you constantly hungry, while leptin signals to stop eating are ignored. You're not weak, your biology is rebelling against starvation. Now contrast that with the metabolic reset. Instead of forcing your body into survival mode, you're reprogramming it for efficiency. You're not starving your cells, you're training them. The reset lowers insulin and allows your mitochondria, the engines of your cells, to finally do their job. Mitochondria are like tiny power plants. When they're overloaded with sugar and inflammation, they sputter and slow down. But when they begin burning fat for fuel, they produce cleaner energy and more of it. This is called mitochondrial efficiency, and it's one of the keys to sustainable fat loss. In this state, your body begins producing more human growth hormone, HGH, your internal rejuvenation signal. HGH not only boosts fat breakdown and preserves lean muscle, but it also repairs tissues, enhances recovery, and even improves skin elasticity. At the same time, your fat cells start to behave differently. Instead of hoarding energy like a locked vault, they begin to release it. The metabolic reset retrains your fat cells to communicate with your hormones again. This is the biological difference between storing energy and using it. Let's bust a few myths that have kept people trapped for years. Myth I1C. Breakfast boosts metabolism? You've probably heard that skipping breakfast slows your metabolism. The truth, it doesn't. Your metabolism doesn't shut off just because you delay your first meal. In fact, extending your fasting window gives your body a chance to burn stored fat for fuel instead of running on a constant drip of glucose. When insulin stays low for longer, fat oxidation rises. Skipping breakfast isn't starvation, it's strategy. Myth 8-2E. You need to eat 6 small meals a day to keep your metabolism high. This advice couldn't be further from the truth. Every time you eat, insulin spikes and fat burning stops. When you graze all day, your body never gets the chance to access its fat reserves. The idea that eating frequently stokes your metabolism is like saying your car runs better if you constantly stop to refuel every mile. The opposite is true. Giving your body breaks between meals allows it to switch from storing energy to burning it. Myth A3. Fat makes you fat. This one has been haunting people since the 1980s. But dietary fat isn't the enemy. It's actually the key to unlocking fat loss. Healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and grass-fed butter help stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, and support hormone production. Sugar and processed carbs, not fat, are what clog your metabolic pathways and promote fat storage. When you consume good fats while keeping insulin low, your body becomes a fat-burning furnace, not a fat-storing one. The metabolic reset doesn't punish your body, it teaches it. Instead of lowering your metabolic thermostat, it rebuilds the furnace itself. Your hormones, mitochondria, and fat cells begin communicating in harmony. Energy production becomes cleaner, cravings diminish, and your metabolism runs hotter, not because you're forcing it, but because it's functioning as it was designed to. Traditional diets fight biology. Metabolic resetting works with it. It's not about restriction, it's about restoration. It's about giving your body the right signals at the right times to unlock the energy and vitality that have been waiting beneath years of confusion. When you stop starving your metabolism and start resetting it, your body stops resisting you and starts transforming for you. The real magic of the metabolic reset isn't just in losing fat. It's in keeping it off effortlessly. After 60 days, your metabolism is no longer fragile or dependent on strict routines. It's flexible, intelligent, and self-correcting. This is where true mastery begins, not through restriction, but through rhythm. You've rebuilt your body's natural ability to adapt, and now you learn how to live in flow with it. The first key to long-term success is metabolic flexibility maintenance. Think of it as giving your body both structure and freedom. You're no longer locked into a rigid eating pattern. Instead, you cycle between fasting and eating windows based on how you feel and how active you are. Some days, you might do an extended fast effortlessly. Other days, you might enjoy a hearty breakfast with friends, and your metabolism won't panic. That's the beauty of flexibility. Once your cells have learned how to efficiently switch between glucose and fat, brief changes don't disrupt progress, they reinforce it. Your body has become a hybrid engine. It can burn sugar when it's available and seamlessly shift to fat when it's not. This adaptability is what keeps weight off permanently. You're no longer chained to the scale or calorie counting. Instead, you're guided by feedback from your own body, hunger, energy, focus, and mood. That's metabolic intelligence at work. Nutrition, at this point, becomes about nourishment, not punishment. You focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods that keep hormones balanced and inflammation low, clean proteins, healthy fats, colorful vegetables, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. These foods aren't about restriction, they're about communication. Every bite you take sends a message to your metabolism. You're safe, you're fueled, you can keep burning fat. But sustainability isn't only about food. It's about how you live. One of the most overlooked aspects of long-term fat maintenance is stress management. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, which can undo progress by promoting fat storage and increasing cravings. The reset lifestyle prioritizes recovery as much as discipline. This means incorporating breathing practices, short meditations, or even simple walks outside to ground your nervous system. When cortisol stays balanced, insulin stays balanced, and fat burning remains steady. Another critical piece is muscle preservation. After the reset, resistance training becomes your best ally. Muscle isn't just for aesthetics, it's your metabolic currency. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest, and the more insulin sensitive your cells remain. 2 to 3 strength sessions per week, even body weight workouts, help maintain this metabolic advantage. Combined with the nutrient timing from your fasting cycles, your body becomes sculpted not through endless effort, but through metabolic harmony. Then there's sleep, your silent fat loss partner. Deep, restorative sleep is when growth hormone surges, fat oxidation peaks, and cellular repair occurs. Without it, the body perceives stress, spikes cortisol, and slows down fat burning. Optimizing your sleep means syncing with your circadian rhythm, eating your last meal 203 hours before bed, dimming artificial light, and maintaining consistent sleep and wake times. When your metabolism and circadian rhythm align, you burn fat even while you dream. Circadian eating, aligning meal timing with natural daylight, also strengthens this effect. When you eat most of your calories earlier in the day and allow longer fasting windows at night, insulin sensitivity improves and digestion becomes more efficient. Your body prefers predictability. It thrives when your internal clock knows when to expect food and when to focus on repair. As you move through travel, holidays, or social events, the fear of falling off track fades. You'll notice that even after a weekend of indulgence, your body recalibrates quickly because it now knows how to restore equilibrium. That's the power of an adaptive metabolism. It doesn't overreact to one high-carb meal or a late night. It simply adjusts. You've replaced a fragile metabolism with a resilient one. This phase isn't about perfection, it's about balance. You're no longer living in cycles of guilt, deprivation, or rebound. You've built a metabolism that's anti-fragile, one that grows stronger through life's fluctuations. Every fast, every meal, every workout, Every night of deep rest reinforces your body's natural intelligence. You've transcended the dieting mindset. You're no longer managing weight, you're managing energy. You eat to thrive, not to survive. You fast to restore, not to punish. You train to build, not to burn. This is metabolic freedom, the point where health and lifestyle merge effortlessly. You've reactivated your body's ancient wisdom and aligned it with modern living. You're not on a diet anymore because you don't need one. You're living in partnership with your biology, and it's finally working for you, not against you. This isn't about living on a diet. It's about living in alignment with your biology. There's a moment in every transformation when you realize it was never just about losing weight. It was about finding yourself again. By the time you reach this stage, your metabolism is no longer a puzzle to solve. It's a partner, alive, intelligent, and working in harmony with you. The fatigue, cravings, and frustration that once controlled your choices have been replaced by clarity, calm, and confidence. You're no longer surviving your days. You're thriving in them. At the cellular level, everything inside you has changed. Your mitochondria, those microscopic engines of life, are humming with clean energy. Hormones that were once erratic and unbalanced now move in perfect rhythm. Insulin sensitivity has returned, cortisol has stabilized, and growth hormone continues to restore and rebuild. This isn't just a slimmer body, it's a stronger system. The lightness you feel isn't just physical, it's cellular. Your body isn't fighting itself anymore. Every cell, every organ, every pathway is aligned toward one goal: vitality. But the real shift happens far beyond biology. When your body starts working for you instead of against you, your mind transforms. You wake up with energy that doesn't fade. You walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not because of a number on a scale, but because you feel fully alive. Your focus sharpens, your creativity expands, and your emotional resilience strengthens. You stop being reactive to life, you start being responsive. That's the essence of metabolic freedom, the ability to live with intention, energy, and peace. You begin to remember who you were before exhaustion and cravings took over. The person who didn't think twice about moving, laughing, or feeling good in their own skin. That person was never gone, just buried under metabolic confusion and modern habits that disconnected you from your natural rhythm. This process isn't about becoming someone new, it's about returning to who you really are. Every aspect of your life begins to reflect this renewal. Your relationships improve because your mood and patience are balanced. Your productivity soars because your mind is no longer clouded by brain fog. Even your sense of purpose deepens because your energy and focus make space for clarity. You start living from abundance instead of chasing it. And what's most empowering is that you're now in control, not through obsession or willpower, but through understanding. You've learned how to listen to your body's cues, how to balance fasting and feasting, movement and recovery, effort and ease. You've replaced the noise of diet culture with the wisdom of biology. You know what true health feels like, and once you feel it, you'll never want to go back. The metabolic reset was never meant to be a temporary intervention. It was a reconnection, a remembering of your body's original intelligence. It's a partnership for life, not a plan to follow, because real health isn't about restriction. It's about rhythm. It's not about controlling your body. It's about collaborating with it. When you treat your metabolism with trust instead of fear, it responds with balance, strength, and longevity. And that longevity isn't just measured in years. It's measured in the quality of those years. Imagine a life where energy is steady, where focus stays sharp, and where your body feels light, strong, and capable every single day. That's what metabolic freedom delivers. It's not about shrinking your body, it's about expanding your vitality. Every time you choose real food over processed convenience, movement over stagnation, rest over stress. You're reinforcing this freedom. Every decision becomes a vote for the future you're creating, one where your body and mind move in sync, guided by nature, science, and purpose. And the truth is, this freedom has always been within you. It's not something you buy, earn, or chase. It's something you awaken. The same intelligence that kept your ancestors strong and lean is still inside you, waiting to be switched back on. So now, the only question left isn't whether it works, because it does, and you've felt it. The question is when you'll decide to turn the switch back on.